dreams just random images fired from an unconscious brain during sleep? Or something much more important, like life-saving inner guidance? How dreams can be healing and early warning tools for disease, financial crisis, or success. And love is still one of the behavioral science's greatest unanswered questions. Hello, I'm your host, author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Welcome to Dreaming Healing, where dreams and cutting-edge scientific research meet on syndicated DreamVisions7 Radio Network. Dreaming Healing is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, when you can call in and ask Kat questions about your amazing dreams. Talk on air. Call toll-free 833-220-1200. That's 833-220-1200. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you're here for Dreaming Healing on DreamVision7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. This is a live video podcast, which means I'm going to adjust this because the top of my head's cut off. There we go. It's a live video podcast, which means you get to see me as I adjust the top of my head. If you're just listening right now and you'd like to be able to see this show, you can go to my website, The Queen of Dreams. You've got to type in "the" into the top search bar there, the URL search bar. And my website will come up. KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com is actually my website, but The Queen of Dreams will get you there too. And if you look up in the right-hand corner of my website page, you'll see Dreaming Healing, DreamVision7 Radio. Click that. Just click that button and it will take you to my DreamVision7 Radio TV network website page, and you'll see a little TV with little antennae on them. It's really cute. Just click that and it will take you to the video podcast of this show. And you can see any of the my past shows, the video podcast of them as well in the archived section of that page. So you can also go to my Facebook page after you hear the show tonight and let me know if you've got any dreams that you would like to share, because tonight's show is Kat Kanavos Interprets Your Dreams. So if you're listening right now and you'd like to call in, all of that information is on the website page, the Dreaming Healing website page. You can call in with your dreams, and we'd love to hear your live dreams on the show today. So what are lucid dreams? I mean, we've been talking about a lot of different type of dreams, like the last show I did where I was interpreting your dreams. We were talking about the importance of cows and bulls in dreams. And if you remember, Lou, who was in the book Dreams That Can Save Your Life, had recurring nightmares. And the first one was a guy who was chasing him, a black guy was chasing him, caught him, and then there was an anal rape scene in his dream, and it woke him up. It was such a horrible nightmare, and he's like, what in the world? He should have known something special was going to happen when he first started to fall asleep, because he fell asleep in a state of a hypnagogic dream. What that means, the hypnagogic dream is when you feel yourself spinning and you see all these different colors. And the reason you see all this fur coming up here is Loki is actually sitting in my lap right now, and his fur is everywhere. He's my Siamese cat. So with a hypnagogic dream, it's almost like you're in hypnosis, or maybe you smoked a bowl of pot, or you ate one of those little candies. It's the same thing, except you haven't done that. You are experiencing that in the dream world, and you're falling asleep. You see how that falling, that hypnagogic, all the different colors, and you have a feel of falling. That's a sign that you're having a lucid dream. You know you're falling asleep. You know that you're falling into a dream. That lets you know it's a lucid dream. Lucid dreams are important. Lucid dreams are something that people aspire to have. They will go to classes, they will go to workshops to learn how to be a lucid dreamer. So anytime you have a lucid dream, it means that you know you're dreaming during the dream, and the information, it's easier to bring the information in the dream back with you, because it's almost like you're in between those worlds. Okay, so lucid dreams are what happens when we've taken the next step in learning to embrace our dreams and our nightmares. You can have a lucid nightmare. I remember a child that called me to be when I was having one of my radio shows, and she said, I had this horrible nightmare. And I said, okay, how old are you? And she said, well, I'm 8. And I said, okay, can you go get your mom for me and just have your mom come on the phone and say, it's okay for you to be talking to me on the radio show? So she went and got her mom, and her mom said, I didn't even know she called you. You know, 8-year-olds can handle the internet better than we would ever imagine. And she told me her nightmare. And I said, it was a dinosaur that was chasing her in her nightmare. And I said, so what did you, and she wanted to know, did that mean that there were still dinosaurs around and that she was going to run into one the next time she was outside playing? And I said, well, no, it usually means that maybe you were watching a movie about dinosaurs, or you read a book about dinosaurs, or you just like dinosaurs. And I said, were you frightened badly when you had this dinosaur dream? She said, oh, I was at first. But then I said to myself, we're okay. This is just a dream. And I'm like, she's 8 years old and she just had a lucid dream. You know, people work all their lives to reach a point where they have lucid dreams. And this little 8-year-old just had a lucid dream and then called me up or a lucid nightmare, and called me up to see if dinosaurs were still alive, and maybe she just hadn't seen one yet and it was going to sneak up on her. So lucid dreaming is very important. And like she said, I was waiting for your show to come on so I could call you because I was so upset about this dream. And that's lucid dreams. Lucid dreams are difficult to forget because there's information. There's something happening in that dream we really need to know about. So before we open up the lines to have the callers call in, I want to do our protection meditation. And the reason I want to do that is because sometimes we may be concerned that opening up our dreams to the waking world and delving into the world of dreams could open up doors that have been closed. So I always encourage people to do this meditation with me and know you're protected. No matter what happens, no matter what dream, what nightmare you remember, and we talk about, you are protected because we're bringing in your spirit guides, your guardian angels, and they're going to be on the show with us. Okay? So if you're driving right now and only listening to my show, don't close your eyes. This is still going to work. The rest of you, find a chair, get really comfortable, settle down in your chair, feel yourself just kind of dropping deeper, almost like a dream, deeper into the chair. Feel your shoulders relaxing. For those of you who are new, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in, and we're going to blow them out into the purple flame of Saint Germain. Then I want you to think about a power gift that you can have. A power gift is anything that gives you power. It can be a piece of jewelry. Maybe a deceased loved one gave you, or your husband, your boyfriend, your best friend, somebody gave you, or you gave yourself. You bought it for yourself. It can be your favorite flower. When I do this meditation, it is a dandelion. It can be your favorite stone. It can be anything you want it to be. It can be your favorite car. You're going to imagine it in your hand. You're not going to actually be holding your car. You're going to imagine holding it. So it can be your car. It can be your favorite house, whatever is powerful for you. And we're going to create a mirrored bubble using that powered gift. All right? So I want you to get comfortable. Just settle down. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Imagine any negativity from the past week getting into that breath of life. Let's blow it out across the room. Into the purple flame of Saint Germain. Another deep breath in. Hold it. Fill your lungs up. Feel them filling up at the bottom where your stomach is. Any negativity. Maybe something you said to someone. Maybe something they said to you. Something you saw. Could even be on TV. Getting caught into that breath of life. Blow it out across the room. Right into the purple flame of Saint Germain. Another deep breath in. Really fill your lungs. Hold it. Imagine those tiny specks like little pieces of pepper getting caught in that breath of life. Blow it out across the room. Into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's converted into positive energy and returned to the universe. That way we are not littering with any negativity. Now imagine holding your power gift in your hand. Spin it all around your head, all around your body. Create a beautiful mirrored bubble, a safety bubble, a safety net around you that only allows that which is of the highest and best to come into your bubble. Anything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, open your eyes. You feel yourself getting regrounded. If you're having trouble returning, take your fingers and put your fingertips together and press 3 times, 2, 3, that magic number. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, me, myself, and I, the Trinity. Then reverse your fingers so that you're holding onto your fingertips and pull 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You'll feel yourself just come right back into the room. Back into the room. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, maybe this is the first time you've seen me. I'm known as the Queen of Dreams, and I am a 3-time breast cancer survivor. My dreams diagnosed my breast cancer, and then the pathology reports confirmed the dreams. So it's a little different. Most people, they get a diagnosis from the doctor and then they start having all these nightmares and dreams. Well, mine was the opposite, but I'm not alone in this. The book that I wrote with Dr. Larry Burke, I've got actually 7 books, Dreams That Can Save Your Life, and it won the Nautilus Book Award, is full of 30 stories. 30 stories of people who had dreams and then went to their doctors and had those dreams confirmed by pathology reports. So it's not that unusual. And we were able to fill this book in about 2 months. So if we could get 30 dreams in 2 months, you can imagine how many people out there have diagnostic dreams, warning dreams, dreams that come in to save their lives. I taught psychology at USF, University of South Florida in Fort Myers, and I am a columnist, a syndicated columnist, and I've been interviewed on Dr. Oz. The book has been on the Dr. Oz show. The doctor's show. I've done workshops on dreams. It's the workshop that I'm going to be actually doing in Santa Barbara, and you can learn more about it on my website, is going to be unmask your dreams. And I have masks that I've collected from all over the world. I have one of them here with me right now. I call this id, ego, super ego. And these masks help people remember and analyze their dreams. So I'm going to be doing a workshop on that in Santa Barbara. And like I said, you can go to my website and look that up if you want to join me. And I know you probably can't see it, but I'm going to show you because my computer keeps moving. I have Loki, my white Siamese cat, sitting on my lap. I cannot put him on the floor because if I do, he will come up and knock my computer off. Anytime I do meditations or dream work, this is where he is the whole time, sitting on my lap. I wish you could see him because he's the cutest thing you can imagine. Anyhow, we are now going to, let me see if we have time. Yes, we are. I want to open up the lines for anybody who may have had a dream and would like to come in and share that dream with us. Because I think dreams are important for us to be able to analyze in reality. In other words, if you've had a dream that was special, hey, let's talk about it. So anybody out there in listening to the program, just give me a call. So while we're waiting for the lines to open up, let's talk about what does a feather in your dream mean? Somebody asked me that. What does a feather mean in your dream? Well, it just so happens that I had a feather in one of my dreams. And it was when the monks came into my room, into my dream room. When I talk about room, we have different rooms in our dreams. We start out in one room, we move to another room, we move to another room. We may go into 5 different dream rooms during the night. And this monk came into my room, my dream room, and said, come with me, we have something to tell you. And he told me that I had breast cancer. He actually took my hand, put it on my breast and said, do you feel this? And this was after the medical community had told me I was healtty. I had this recurrent nightmare 5 times, like one wasn't enough. And the monk, the Franciscan monk in my dream kept saying, go back to your doctor and get a second set of tests. Well, the 5th time I had this dream, when I saw the Franciscan monk show up in my dream, I started crying. Yeah, I knew why he was there. And I said, I know why you're here. I don't know what to do. I've gone back to my doctor 5 different times and he keeps giving me the same tests and telling me I'm healthy to go home. So if there is something really wrong with me, if I really do have cancer, you need to do something to help me. And he reached into the sleeve of his big cloak and he pulled out this tiny little white feather, a really tiny feather. And he handed it to me. And he said, if you use this feather as though it were a sword to cut through your doctor's arguments, you're going to get the test you need to find the cancer. Go back tomorrow without an appointment. Show up on his step. So I did. And the monk also said, use this feather as a sword. Remember that. So I showed up on my doctor's at my doctor's office in my waking world. I mean, I was awake now. And I showed up at the office and I said, look, I know something's really wrong. And I said, and also in the dream, the monk said, you need exploratory surgery to find this. So when I told my doctor that I needed exploratory surgery, I didn't tell my doctor about the monk because I knew I needed treatment, not a padded cell, right? Yeah, you know where I'm coming from, right? So when I said I need exploratory surgery, my doctor looked like I had poured myself with gasoline and set myself on fire. And he said, I can't do that. I cannot do that because it's against my policy. It's against the hospital policy. And no. And so I imagined holding that little feather And I imagined pointing it at him. And I said, look, you're my doctor. I need you to help me. I don't have anywhere else to go. I need a second set of tests, and I need for you to perform this exploratory surgery. Long story short, he did. Yeah, that feather worked. He did. And it turned out I had stage 2 breast cancer with it in my lymph nodes. So what does a feather in a dream mean? Well, in ancient Egyptian times, a feather, when you died and you were traveling to the other side, Anubis would take you. It was the god that looked like the dog. Anubis would take you, and when you got to the other, before he would take you to the other side, you went into a room, like a dream room, and there was this huge scale. And on one side of the scale was your heart. Remember the canopic jars? They took your heart out of the canopic jars and they put it on the scale. On the other side of the scale was a feather. And that feather, your heart, had to be lighter than the feather. If it wasn't, if your heart was heavier than the feather, you went into the underworld. You didn't get to go to the other side where it was all beautiful and there was all this food and dancing women, dancing girls. No, you went to the underworld, the place you didn't want to go. So that showed up in paintings in the inside of the ancient Egyptian tombs. So feathers have been in dreams since the beginning of time. And today we don't have our heart on one side of the scale and a feather on the other. We equate feathers with angels, angel feathers. And maybe in ancient Egypt, maybe that was an angel feather. You never know, because they didn't show that many angels. They showed the gods like Anubis and Isis and not really like Raphael or any of our angels. But there's always a little bit of truth in mythology as things changed. I'm sure even back in ancient times, we had angels. We had guardian angels that watched over us. And so those feathers would have been very, very important. We're going to go for a quick break. You are listening to DreamVision7 Radio Network, and this is Dreaming Healing. When we come back, we're going to talk to someone who had a lucid dream. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Burke. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated DreamVision7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. For over 40 years, Omega has seen more than 1 million people come through its doors to grow, learn, and find a greater sense of purpose. With over 350 workshops to choose from, Omega offers something for everyone. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
Have you met your physician within yet? The Nautilus and multi-award-winning book, Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing, is a memoir that takes you down the rabbit hole of healing dreams and interpretations, mixed with conventional medicine and treatments. Listen to the hookah-puffing caterpillar ask, "Who are you?" Dr. Bernie Siegel says Kathleen's story is powerful, honest, and eye-opening. Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing by 3-time breast cancer survivor Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Buy the book and audio at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
Ever had a strange dream? Nautilus Award winner, Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases by Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos and Duke University radiologist Dr. Larry Burke, forward by Dr. Bernie Siegel, shares how people like you self-advocated in the face of adversity and won using dreams. Read life-saving dream stories validated by medical reports. Hear how dreams of dead loved ones saved lives. Use interpretations and journaling as roadmaps in your waking world for health, wealth, and love. Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases. Buy the audio and book at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com in English and Italian worldwide and through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other retailers.
This is DreamVision7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing on DreamVision7 Radio Network. And I am your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. You are listening to Dreaming Healing, and we're talking about dreams today. This is all dreams, all about you. You get to call in, we deal with your dreams. So it's not scripted like most of my shows are when I've got a guest, because I have specific questions that I'm asking them. Instead, this show is just a real show about your dreams you're sending in, and we do have a caller who has a lucid dream to share with us. So producer Bob, bring our caller on.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. So you had a lucid dream. Is this your first lucid dream?
Yeah, the first one I ever had.
Wow.
No spring chicken, so it was a long time coming.
Have you always wanted to be a lucid dreamer? Was this something you aspired to be?
I don't know that I aspired to it, but I always thought it would be. I thought it would be great, and I would welcome it if it happened. But no, it wasn't anything that I made efforts towards or anything.
Okay. Well, let's start. And how would you like me to refer to you? Just caller, or do you?
Yeah, John.
John. Okay. So, John, tell us your dream. I'm going to be writing it down, so you'll see me looking down a little bit so that the important parts, I can make sure I've got them in front of me. Go ahead, John.
All right, excellent. This was maybe 3 months or so ago, and it was in the depths of winter, which is kind of, which has significance in the dream. I came into the dream, and I was in my bed. I was just as I was. Now, my ex-partner was next to me, and she and I had parted ways, so a good year and a half before, and it had been a very difficult relationship, maybe the most difficult one I'd had, full of misalignment and a lot of limerence, and it was a hard relationship to leave, and it wasn't very clean, it wasn't a lot of closure. It was kind of just exploded, and so I was very surprised to be in my bed and see her there. And in my dream, I got up, and as I left my bedroom, I have a door to my deck, and my deck is very significant. My deck is my happy place in the warm months. That's kind of where I live. Mm-hmm. The view is so beautiful in the warm months. It's this Shangri-La for me. And I knew as soon as I exited my bedroom, I said to myself, as soon as you look out the glass door, you're going to see that it's early summer. I just kind of knew it. And I looked out, and it was early summer. And not only was it early summer, and I was looking out at my deck, but my deck had been expanded. It had been made about 5 or 6 times the size that it had been before. It was enormous, and it was still being completed. There was still some work with some sawhorses around and stuff like that. And obviously I was delighted. I went out on my deck, and in the corner there was a big stage, and there were tables, and there was just a smattering of people. And on the stage was, I'm a musician, so it was, it was kind of normal for me to construct this scene. On the stage was a drum set, and set up for a band. And the other thing that's fascinating is that there were balloons everywhere. There were, just like sort of helium balloons floating up at the top. Not a whole ton, but enough, to notice. And it was just a beautiful early summer day. And I looked around in wonder, and I knew that I was in a dream. And I was like, I am finally having one of these dreams. This is mine to play with. And then a man came out of the door from inside, and I looked at, and he was kind of, he was undefined. And I was like, oh, okay, I get to make him whoever I want him to be. And I said, well, there's the drum set. Why don't I make him Mike from my band from the early 2000s, my most successful band. I'm going to make him the drummer, Mike. And lo and behold, it was Mike. And I looked at him and I said, hey, Mike, I was like, what do you figure the balloons? I know I'm in a dream. What do you figure the balloons mean? And what was really funny was that, I'm sure you'll know this will be significant to you, he wasn't sort of completely available, as if he wasn't really there. He was sort of a mannequin. So he wasn't really responding, as if he was like behind some veil. But it kind of didn't matter. Because I knew I was in a dream, and I was just making idle conversation. And I also knew that if I walked back into my living room, that my ex-partner was not going to be there anymore. Mm-hmm. And there was something about that. I was of two minds about that, because she was very unhealthy for me, but at the same time, as I mentioned, it was very kind of one of those limerent sort of relationships. There was a real push-pull. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I think I'm ready for, I think I would just like her to be gone. And I came back into the living room, and she was gone, as if she'd never been there. And with that, I woke up, and I was back in my bed, and I was fascinated. And I was like, I wonder if I can get back in, but I didn't really have any of the skills. And I was left with this really light, positive, happy feeling about the dream. And it's like, oh, I had my first conscious dream. I was like, that's amazing. And then, but I didn't go back to sleep. I was sort of just too excited about the whole thing. So that was my dream. It's amazing, a fantastic experience. I hope I have it again someday.
Wow. What a great dream. And for it to be your first lucid dream, you handled that, the lucid part of the dream like a pro. I mean, okay. I was really impressed with that. So let's get started on it. We're probably going to have to take a break before we even get completely through it, but that's okay.
Very good.
We'll come back and we'll finish it on the other side. So just hang there with us. So John, it's interesting. You said it was about 3 months. The number 3 came up in your dream right off the bat. It's winter, meaning it's the end of one time. Yeah. Winter is the end of a period of time within a year. But the number 3 is a sacred number. Id, ego, superego, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, me, myself, mine. So what was the 3 month again? Was it about 3 months ago that you said you had the dream?
Yes.
Okay. So it's interesting that you're now talking about it at 3. So that's not an accident. The winter you were having this dream in the winter, which is the end of one year, the end of a life cycle. You know, the trees have dropped their leaves, the leaves died, everything is in hibernation, or it has died, because it's the end of a period. So then you come into the dream in bed. That's interesting. I've had that happen. You know, those dreams can kind of fool you sometimes, where you dream that your alarm clock went off and you woke up and turned your alarm clock off and got up and got dressed, and you're in the bathroom and suddenly you hear your alarm clock go off and realize you're still sleeping and go, oh my gosh, I dreamed that I woke up, but I'm not, which is a lucid dream. So you come into the dream in bed. You dream that you're dreaming in bed, and your ex-partner is in the bed with you. So let's look at bed first. What does a bed mean to you in your waking world? What does your bed mean?
Complete, clean, peace, and repose.
Okay. So this dream is coming from a place of complete peace and repose, which means it's not going to be a nightmare. Some people don't want to ever get in their beds. They don't want to go to sleep. They're afraid to go to sleep. I talked about that in a previous show with Linda, where she said, oh, I'm never going to sleep again. I'm not getting in my bed. I'm not going to dream. So you're in a place that you really love. So you're talking about you're in the bed with somebody who was your significant other for quite a while, but it was a difficult relationship. So in this perfect place, you are now going to deal with a difficult situation. And you kind of talk about how the relationship just kind of exploded. I found that to be an interesting way to describe it. And I was watching for other parts of the dream that would signify that explosion. And what happens when you pop a balloon?
It bursts, yeah.
And there's a big explosion. But they didn't pop in your dream. They didn't pop in your dream. They were showing an explosion of happiness. So in your dream, you've got this balance going on of in bed, in your happy bed, you've got an explosive relationship. And then later in the dream, you are out on your deck, your happy deck, with balloons, which are explosive instruments. Yet there were no explosions, no real explosions in your dream. You get up and you leave one happy place, your bedroom, your bed, and you step out onto the deck to another happy place, which is showing summer, a time of not the beginning of growth, not the first season after winter, but smack into the middle of a summer season when everything is beautiful and colorful, thus your balloons. And you're out there, and you did not bring her out there on the deck with you, did you?
No, that's fascinating. I didn't.
No. Instead, you walk onto this deck alone, and you have expanded. Your deck has expanded. Your happiness has expanded. Alone, it has all expanded. And it is the time of great growth, of not beginning growth, but growth in full bloom. It's the summer, which is wonderful. So we have to go take a quick break, but we're going to pick this back up because there's a lot more to this dream. So for those of you listening, don't go away. You're listening to Dreaming Healing on DreamVision7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kat Kanavos. We are interpreting a lucid dream that is phenomenal, and it's only going to get better only going to get better. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
That every word you speak matters. What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velarde's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated DreamVision7 Radio Network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Darkest hours to brightest moments, transformation from despair to happiness, and chaos to clarity. Real people, real pain, real healing. Life-threatening illness, death, abusive relationships, divorce, and overcoming addiction are challenges these men and women faced head-on. See how they emerged stronger and happier. Buy the new book, Chaos to Clarity, Sacred Stories of Transformational Change by Reverend Patricia Caginello and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available on sacredstoriespublishing.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, Chaos to Clarity, and Crappy to Happy, you'll love crying and laughing through Mayhem to Miracles. Sacred Stories of Transformational Hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
Why are we here? How can we be happy? Questions asked from millennials to boomers. Crappy to Happy, Sacred Stories of Transformational Joy answers them using true stories of grit, grace, and love. James Redfield, author of The Celestine Prophecy, wrote in the foreword, "This book is a seminar about emerging truths and offers grounded solutions through the art of the comeback." Dr. Bernie Siegel, a contributing author, wrote, "Bodies die, but spirits and consciousness survive and recycle." So, grab some tissues, open your book, and prepare to cry and laugh till it heals. Crappy to Happy by Reverend Ariel Patricia and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers worldwide.
This is DreamVision7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Dreaming Healing on DreamVision7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. I'm also known as the Queen of Dreams. You got to put the in there, or I won't come up. Just before the break, we were talking with John about his first lucid dream, which is turning out to be just phenomenal. For those of you who might have missed the first part, he dreamt that he was in his bed when he woke up. When he dreamt he was in his bed, when he dreamt he woke up from his bed, and his ex-significant other was in the bed next to him. And that was an explosive relationship that had ended with a lot of turmoil and some very deep emotions. And he left the bedroom, which he loved. That's one of his favorite places, and went to his next most favorite place of all, which was his deck. Now, this was in the winter that he woke up with this lucid dream about 3 months ago. We've got the number 3 there, which is a significant number. That's a spiritual number, a holy number. And now he walks out onto his deck. It's no longer winter. See the play on words there? He went from the winter of his emotions into the summer of his emotions. His deck has expanded in his dreams. It's bigger and better than ever. And he's really happy. And here's the part that I like the most, John. Your deck has not finished growing.
Yeah.
You're not done. There's still sawhorses out there. You still have paint and things like that on your deck. Your deck, your happiness, your joy is still growing as big as it is right there. You still have a ways to go. And so you see that over in the corner of the deck, there's a stage. Oh, you get to perform now. You get to be you. You get to be whoever you want to be. And that's important to remember when we go into this next part, because you see that there are balloons everywhere. Party time, party's on, and they can be very explosive. But when you explode a balloon, it's usually with joy. Yeah. You want to hear that noise. You want it to be a part of the party. But here's the part I really like. Okay, you've got this stage where every man is an actor in their own play when they're on a stage. Mm-hmm. And an unidentified man walks in. And you say to yourself in the dream, well, this is a dream, so I can make this man whoever I want. And you decide that you're going to make him someone that you really, really liked before, Mike. Now, John, in our dreams, when we meet other people in our dreams, they're usually an aspect of ourselves. So there was something about Mike that you really liked. You were drawn to Mike. And so this faceless person who showed up in your dream, who could take on any identity at all, was an aspect of yourself. Mm-hmm. And you decided you wanted that new aspect of yourself to be Mike, because there were things about Mike that you just loved, and you want that in you.
Wow, Kat, that's so amazing. The thing of this is what you've said, is that you have addressed something very specific that's very meaningful to me. And that is that Mike, when I think of Mike, he was a very gentle, incredibly gentle, unassertive, sort of like a very soft man, but in a very agreeable way, you know. And in this relationship, I had to be very hard. I had to, it was a constant, like a boundary war, you know, and I had to be like Mr. Clean's big brother. I had to be so in that sort of, that masculine, you know, and I really missed being gentle and sort of, you know, just kind of going with the flow and being unassertive. So that's fascinating that you've told me that, because that was conspicuously Mike's quality. Mm-hmm. Makes so much sense.
And that person, when he first entered your dream, what I liked, what triggered me was he was faceless. Yeah. And you said, I can make him anyone I want. So you could have made him your father, or you could have made him your ex-girlfriend, but you didn't. You chose this person because this person was important to you. And another important part, let me ask you, John, do you play the drums?
Yes, I do. They're not my primary instrument, but yeah, I do.
Okay. So you put Mike on an instrument that you know, but you needed somebody else to handle that. And you put him there because you knew he could and would, and that would complete you or your band, because the stage is yours.
Yes, that's great.
There's something about Mike that completes you. And drums are important. How did ancient people call the gods?
Through drumming.
They drummed.
Yeah.
Mhm. How did the ancient Indians, American Indians, call down the rain in the desert?
Through drumming.
That's right. Drumming is an important part of spirituality. And this dream happened 3 months ago. Again, we have the drums, which are a physical aspect of the number 3.
Mm.
And if you look at a drum set, the basic drum of a drum set is, I believe it's 3 drums, right? And then you add the cymbals, and then you can add the other things, but you have 3 basic aspects of the drum.
Yep. Kick drum, snare, and floor tom. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, I don't do drums at all. So I was guessing that because 3 is showing up all the time in this, the spirituality, the calling of rain, which is important for life, and it brings everybody joy. The speaking with the guides, which brings joy. So then you're asking yourself, what do these balloons mean? So let's ask you, now that you're awake, what do those balloons mean?
My first impression was that there was something so calmly joyful about this dream. It wasn't like, some huge climactic amazing. It was just, everything about it was very staid and very calm and very joyful in this really sort of low temperature kind of way, just really agreeable kind of way. And, me with my very limited understanding of dream imagery, I was like, oh, the balloons are like celebration.
Yes.
But I do like the idea of the contained explosion. Now, Kat, they were also all red.
Oh, they were all red. I was just going to ask you if there was a color.
Yeah, very conspicuously, all red.
Interesting. I'm so glad you shared that now. What does the color red mean to you?
It means there's something extreme about it. When I describe the everything about the dream being sort of so peaceful and sort of dialed down, red to me represents the opposite of that. It's without value judgment. It's not that it's bad. It's like, but it's intense.
Yes. Red is the color of power.
Oh.
It is the most powerful color you can have.
Oh.
Yes. So when you see red, think about our waking world. A red cape in front of a bull. You don't see any other color anywhere else. That red cape is a trigger for power. In the ocean, red is a color that warns all the other fish, all the other creatures in the ocean, don't bug me. Don't bother me. I'm poisonous. I'm dangerous. I'm powerful. So all of your balloons are power. You have power contained in that joy. So then you are suddenly coming full circle in the dream. You're coming back around and you're saying, I have to go back into my house. Remember, our house is our body. Our home is our body. The attic is usually where we store stuff, and that's our brain. The basement is an area where you are at your lowest. So quite often when people say, I was down in my basement and I was just sitting down in my basement and it was dark and kind of cold and I was wondering what I was doing down there. Well, maybe you're low. So your deck is off of your living room. Your happiness is off of your living room. You're living where you live in your body, and your profound happiness are connected by a glass door. And that's important because this was not a wall.
Mhm.
You can see your happiness from where you live. It's simply a case of accessing it. And so when you go back into your living room, John, you're telling yourself, I hope she's gone. I hope she's gone. Not, oh, if she's there, I'm going to throw her out, or any negative thoughts. Just simply, I've had such a good time out here. I've reconnected with Mike. Mike is now a part of me. I had a great party. I love this happy feeling. I hope she's gone. And when you walk in, she is.
Yeah.
Which tells you, you are in control of everything that happens to you in your waking world, because your dream world told you it is.
Wow, there's so much here. It all makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that is your closure. You were saying, well, there wasn't really a lot of closure. Your dream just gave you closure.
Wow. Yeah, sure it did. Yeah, things got different for me after that. The other thing that was fascinating about coming back into the living room is it wasn't quite so simple as I hope she's gone, because as I say, this was one of those relationships where there's a lot of limerence and a lot of infatuation, and it was unhealthy. It was it had an addictive aspect.
Mhm.
And when I came back in, it was like, well, she's going to be there. And I was like, no, you know what? If you can choose, she can be gone. This is your dream.
Yes. And you're in control of that dream, and you were in control from the very beginning. So we've actually come to the end of our show. John, thank you so much for calling in, because that was an amazing dream, and I hope everybody else enjoyed it. So until next time, everybody, remember, everybody dreams just like John does, but some dreams not just save your life, but they can change your life and make it better. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us this evening, and a big thanks to our producer. Tune in next time to Dreaming Healing for more cutting-edge research, live dream interpretations, and stories with radio host and award-winning author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Listen every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time with call-in live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated DreamVision7 Radio Network. Remember, everyone dreams, but some dreams save lives. Live your dreams. Find more about Kat at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com. That's Kathleen with a K. OKEEFEKANAVOS. Or The Queen of Dreams on Google search.
This is DreamVision7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.